Hey guys, welcome to the Line Change. In this video, we're going to be talking about Tyler Myers did an interview recently where he talks about last season. He does go into the Miller Petey rift and talks a little bit about that. And I just thought it was a very interesting interview that he did with, I believe it was the Cam Strick Podcast. He discussed several different topics. So we're going to go over an article written by our friends at Canucks Army that talk about it and discuss some of the things that he said. Obviously, he's one of the few Canucks who have actually, I guess, spoken about the Miller PD rift. Obviously, Quinn Hughes being another one. We haven't heard much from Garland. I could be mistaken on that, but I haven't seen anything from Garland or any other players, except for Quinn. Besser, I believe, talked a little bit about it. But before we dive into this article, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art. You guys can check him out at gassjackart.com. He made that incredible artwork you see there behind me. And he still has his end of season sale going on where you can get 2 prints and an additional 2 for free. So you're technically only paying for 2. So go ahead, check him out, GassyJackArt.com. He's also on Instagram at GassyJackArt. So let's go ahead and dive right into this article, as I said, from our friends at Canucks Army, written by Tyson Cole. He goes on to say the Vancouver Canucks defenseman Tyler Myers joined the Cam Strick Podcast to discuss several different topics. Myers was asked about the infamous JT Miller Elias Pettersson drama from last season, the recent rumors about Quinn Hughes wanting to play with his 2 brothers, and much more. The Miller-Pettersson reported feud took over the hockey world in 2024-2025. The reports began to emerge early in the season when the Canucks struggled to get off to a good start. This then led to rumors about one of the players moving and subsequently the potential for both players to move on. We all know how it ultimately turned out. Miller was traded to the New York Rangers, and the Canucks kept Pettersson before his no-move clause kicked in. What we haven't heard much about is a player's perspective on how the locker room was. And then this is a quote from Tyler Myers himself. It got pretty crazy just publicly last year, way more than what it was, Myers said. I'm not going to sit here and say there wasn't tension, but I've been on a team where 2 players are in a full-on fistfight after a game who I know are close friends. There's going to be tension anywhere you go. Millsy and I got close. It was a lot more than it needed to be, but it wasn't anything crazy. We were figuring things out, just like every other team does, with different situations. But our locker room is great. I like coming into the rink every day. All the guys are close, and we weren't too worried about it. The next biggest topic of conversation surrounding is the future of Captain Quinn Hughes. At the end of the season, President of Hockey Ops Jim Rutherford shared that Hughes has a desire to play with his brothers, Jack and Luke, who both play for the New Jersey Devils. Rutherford walked back some of those comments later, but now the rumors started to swirl about how Hughes might leave after his 2-year contract is up to join his brothers. Myers gives some perspective on Hughes' end regarding the rumors. This is another quote from Tyler Myers. Huggy doesn't like all that speculation and stuff. He loves his brothers, loves his family, like everybody else, but he's not going around the room saying he wants to play with his brothers. I know it's a big story around the hockey world, but everyone makes that a lot more than it is. Myers has been in Vancouver since signing in the 2019 offseason. Outside of 5 games, Myers has been around for Hughes' entire career, so he has had a front row seat to watch him develop into the defenseman he is today. Another quote from Tyler Myers. 5 years ago, I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. It seems like every year since then, he's only gotten better. Just when I think he's at his ceiling and in his prime, he just keeps getting better. It's crazy. The thing with Huggy that separates him, his edge work, and the way he separates himself from guys gives him so much time and space. And then his skill just takes over. He's maybe the best player I've seen in my career. Him and Makar are on another level. It's fun to watch. The Canucks re-signed goaltender Thatcher Demko to a 3-year, $8.5 million AAV on July 1 this offseason. This led to the subsequent trade of Calder Cup champion and AHL playoff MVP Artur Silovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Much of the hesitation about moving Silovs is due to the health of Demko. The American netminder has suffered numerous injuries over the past 2 seasons, restricting Demko to starting just 26 of the following 111 Canucks games over the past 2 seasons. But Myers shares that Demko is healthy and preparing for the year ahead. Demmer's world class. Whenever anyone asks about him, we always say it's hard to explain how good he is. I know he's feeling good coming into this year, and I'm excited for him to have that feeling because I know there were times last year when it got tough for him. The way he's feeling now, I know he's excited, and I'm excited for him because he's that good and he's great in the room. A Saturday night game against the Edmonton Oilers in mid-January got a little physical, so much so that both Tyler Myers and Connor McDavid were suspended for 3 games. McDavid for cross-checking Connor Garland in the head, while Myers for cross-checking Evan Bouchard in the face. Myers details what happened on that night from his perspective. I didn't even know what was going on behind me. I initiated it, no question. I did something on the wall. It was at the end of the game. I gave him a little shot. Nothing bad, normal in a hockey game. From there, he just kind of coasted towards me. I didn't really know what was going to happen. Obviously, Bush is a really great player. That physical part of his game probably isn't what he does all the time. Still, a player skating at me, I don't know what's going to happen, so I just decided to get my hands up a little. Myers joked, honestly, I thought both suspensions that day were too much. I didn't think either of them, looking at them after, was what everyone made them out to be. But I will defend myself. If you slow down the video, I'm going at his chest. His hands do kick up my stick. I don't go looking to cross-check guys in the face. As a playful end to the interview, Cam Strick asked Myers who was the most vocal on the team, but toward the opponents. This led to Myers then describing the significant impact Kiefer Sherwood made on the Canucks in his first year in Vancouver. Kiefer Sherwood, Myers said without hesitation regarding the best trash talker on the team. He's a non-stop talker. He'll throw some funny ones out there every once in a while. He just finishes everything. If he's around another guy, he's finishing him. Doesn't matter where he is. He's a warrior. He competes with the best of them. He broke the hit record this year. Anytime he was around somebody, he was leaning into them, whether he was big or small. He was really good for us. He brought an element that I think our team needed. And that is the end of the interview. I'll leave a link to this article in the description down below. I'll also maybe leave a link to the actual interview on the on the podcast, Cam Strick Podcast. I'll see if I can leave a link to that in the description down below, or you guys can just search it on YouTube or wherever. Yeah, I thought this was a very insightful interview with Tyler Myers, talking about the, cross-check, the night where both him and McDavid were suspended. Talks a little bit about, Quinn Hughes and the rumors around, him wanting to go play with his brothers and just his development on the Canucks. Obviously at the start, talks a little bit about the Miller Petey situation, and it's great to hear this from Tyler Myers. And it's like what the article says. It gives a player perspective on how the locker room was. So this is great to hear. I've always been a big fan of Tyler Myers since he signed. Yes, there's been, some times where I've been like, what a doofus, when he's made some pretty bad plays. But for the most part, last season, I thought he played really well. And obviously, he loves being here in Vancouver. So that is a bonus for me. But once again, if you guys like this video, be sure to let me know. And also, if you guys have any comments, feel free to drop them down below. And as I just mentioned, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media. On Facebook, just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. Find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the TLC Podcast. You can also find us on Blue Sky at The Line Change. And feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review. But that's going to do it for me. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll see you guys next time.